listening to Am I The Bolcast, the only podcast about Magic the Gathering that you're listening to right now. I'm your host, Mike Carrozza. With me, as always, my co-host and co-producer, Morgan Sanchez. Hi, Morgan.
What's up, Mikey? Happy Tuesday on the Monday of the future past.
The future, it is mid to early August.
Somehow.
And we are, I don't know. It's already passing. It's crazy. Oh, what's this? Did we already get more Spider-Man stuff? It's crazy.
Final Fantasy,
get into that.
SpongeBob, Spider-Man Avatar set is already, it's all out right now.
And Edge of Eternities, don't forget it. I like the spacecraft set. Let's keep talking about this after we bring on our guest. Our guest used to live here. It's you know him as Gamesfreaksa.info, the writer behind the How They Brew It series. Michael Celani's back. Hi, Michael.
Hey, everybody. I figure if I get on this show one more time in a row, then squatters' laws apply, and I technically can live here again.
Oh, okay. Maybe we'll have to make that happen. Welcome back, buddy.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
We couldn't get enough of you.
No one can get enough of me.
It's just fun to have you back. I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, it's been nice having you back in the mix and doing the mailbags with you, and that's why today we're doing another mailbag. 2 weeks ago, we did Michael's pet peeve. We did Celani got an episode to himself, an interview and everything. And then last week, we got an episode, which is us doing a mailbag. And we enjoyed it so much, we decided, hey, you guys want to do another one? Let's just do another one. And so we're back at it again with Celani in the mix again, doing a mailbag episode. And I think I've picked a good one. I haven't written about this one for my series, Am I The Bolas on edhrec.com. Yet I'm gonna write this one up at some point, just not yet, but I did want to chat with you guys about it because I thought it was an interesting one, and it's a topic I've touched on before. Now, before we get into it, we usually get into it a little quicker than we get into things a little quicker on the mailbag episodes, but we do have to discuss our sponsors, give them a shout out, thank them. As always, from day dot, baby, our proud sponsor, Cardsphere.com. Thank you. Shout out to Cardsphere.com. You can check out our referral link in the description of this YouTube video or this podcast, wherever you're listening to this. Please sign up for Cardsphere and make your life easier. Cardsphere.com, baby. Cardsphere, get your cards here. Now, I don't have any Cardsphere stories at the moment because I ended up buying some stuff at an LGS and just flipping it over there. Now I have a ton of credit at my LGS, so I haven't done any Cardsphere ordering in a little bit. Although, when Spider-Man comes out, I'm going to be all over this thing because I also have credit in Cardsphere that I'm saving for 90 copies of Carnage.
Yeah.
So, I don't currently have a Cardsphere story to discuss for you today, but Morgan, it's been a minute. Let's get into it. What do you got for us this week?
So, even though this is like ancient news because this set came out, checks notes last Friday, I did get a nice stack of Edge of Eternity's foils and also probably a commander that I'm going to try to brew my first monocolor deck with. I have never have I ever built a monocolor deck. I'm not even kidding. But
how is that possible?
Trust me when I say this.
Haven't.
No, yeah, I started with Aloro, and pretty much all of my decks are just suddenly Esper. Like, when I was like, why would I not just put all three of these colors in the deck? Like, I mean, come on. And so we have an EDH writer, Michael Whelan. Shout out to Wheels. He writes awesome articles about monocolored commanders.
Shout out to Wheels.
And I'm starting to get the itch. And so who I'm thinking and who I picked up, we talked about this guy last time as being one of my all-star picks. And this is Mimenon, the right hand, mono blue guy.
I knew it.
So my jellyfish advisor, I mean, and it's a vibe, right? Okay, like, who am I going to pick but the jellyfish advisor? Okay, he's the big boss jellyfish guy. So just
that's
to recap,
more of a Naomi thing, you know.
But,
she was all about the cephalids.
The octopi. What did they get around to? Squid, something like that. Something not good.
They
all got collapsed into like octopus.
Yeah,
it's very sad.
No, wait, I forgot about that. Yeah, they're all octopus now.
Pour one out for the cephalid.
I forgot about that.
They're erasing our history,
I'm so
Mike.
Mad. My girlfriend's wagging her finger at me.
This is octopus appropriation.
She feels my pain.
Yeah.
Octopropriation.
Like, kids these days don't understand how good cephalids are.
How dare you, Celani? And yes, kids will never... we'll never get new cephalids, and that pisses me off. I've forgotten. This has been such a crazy year in Magic that I completely spaced. I'm sorry, Ken. I spaced on cephalids getting errated to another creature type, and now I'm mad about it all over again, as I'm sure I was upset before.
They're trying to
That's
hide
so
it from us
stupid.
by releasing all these sets. Like, this is what really should be in the news. This is what we should be
Oh my
talking
God.
about. Right?
I'd have stewed on this. You know what? Good call, because I would have stewed on this a lot longer if I'd known.
Yeah.
You know what? They're correct. They made the right decision.
So my jellyfish, if we can't have cephalids, we got to have jellyfish, and they got to be advisors.
Right.
They got to be boss jellyfish.
Yes.
So men on the right hand is 3 UU, legendary creature jellyfish advisor. He's a flyer, 3/4 flyer, nonetheless. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You can cast artifact spells from the top of your library, and artifacts you control have tap, add U. Spend this mana only to cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand. So as we all know, Blue has lots of zones. Blue's got a lot of cards in a lot of different piles all up and across the command area.
Does it?
Oh yeah, we got exile, we got the graveyard, we got the battlefield, we got lots of zones for Blue to interact with.
You got some flashback in the
We got
graveyard.
some-
That's great.
We got
You
some stuff going on.
I usually think of the future sight stuff, like the
Yeah.
third line on this. This card has 4 lines of text. It's honestly awesome. But
Gorgeous.
I have to ask you, since you're building this mono blue commander that you hinted at, I got to know, what art did you go with for your commander? Did you pick the Dominic Meyer one or the Joshua Raphael?
So it was hard because I do like them both. I think that the original set art from like the promo pack is really good because he looks kind of like more realistic and meaner. But I did want,
I agree,
and have to go with the triumphant foil art because come on, and it's so
Meyer
cheap.
nails it.
Do y'all even realize how cheap you can get cards for on Card Sphere? Like these foils, this triumphant foil here. Okay, look, I can buy one literally
Probably
right
ran
now.
you a buck.
$3.64. Okay,
That's
it's
pretty
cheaper than a McDonald's sandwich. Friends and family.
On a foil, triumphant foil. That's not bad.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think the triumphant foil, he looks too much like an Eldrazi.
Well, I mean,
Why
is
are
he
you
not?
mad about
You
it?
know what I mean?
Why are you
Like,
mad
I'm-
about it, Michael? Share your
I'm mad
your real
about
thoughts.
it because jellyfish aren't Eldrazi. Jellyfish are fun and whimsical, and you're
Tell
supposed
that
to like
to
bounce
You've
around
been to the
world.
ocean? You've been to the ocean, girl?
Yeah, I've been to the ocean. I know it exists. I know of the ocean.
I don't know.
I gotta say, if we were a bigger podcast and we had demand for merch, you been to the ocean? ? Exclamation mark on a shirt.
With a jellyfish on it.
Just so confrontational with a jellyfish on it would be pretty fun and honestly inconspicuous as well. It would be like people would be like, "Oh, you must love the ocean," and it's like, nah, it's about Magic the Gathering. You know, the trading card game you bullied me for. Talking to someone from my
They'll
past.
be like, I can't believe you went to the ocean. Nobody's done that.
yeah.
yeah,
Lucky duck.
never ever.
It's a very Pacific thing to be wearing.
Yeah, you guys are Westerns. You guys are all the way out there in the PNW. I really like this commander, and I'm not surprised that you haven't built monocolored commander. I also have only like theory crafted
Yeah.
on an online deck builder like Architect or Moxfield with my monocolored stuff. You know, I've done the
But you play all the
Ayara.
Rakdos decks, right? That's effectively just like black with an extra color. Like, I don't know how you wouldn't be like, I like Ardennes. I like Villas, you know? How do you not?
I mean, look, I don't disagree. I love all of them. I built the Rakdos. So my theory crafted version of the Rakdos Ayara from March of the Machine, the flip Ayara, is a mono black legendary deck. And so it would be the closest thing I have to a modal spell, like a modal deck where I like swap out 30, 40 cards for, different,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't gone around to putting it together. And also I don't know how much I'd really enjoy it or whatever. But ultimately, I've never built a monocolor deck either. And I'm not so surprised that Morgan hasn't either. And I agree. I mean, maybe it's time. Maybe Celani, you have a monocolored deck, don't you? You have a white one for sure.
I have multiple monocolor decks.
You have a white one for sure.
For sure.
Do I have
That
a white monocolor deck, like in print? I don't think I do, actually. I have a mono red deck, of all things.
Okay.
When I had a mono white deck, it was SRAM, which at the time was the only good mono white commander. So I think that got absorbed into my Ardennes and Jessica deck.
You're thinking off to the side, and you're not really talking into your microphone as much as you think you are.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, it sounds like you're talking away into the other part of the room.
Should I restart?
No, just adjust for now. I think now that we've addressed it, people will know that we picked up on it, and
It's
we're
because he's
correcting
trying
it.
to show us the good
okay.
angle. You gotta get the good angle like this.
No, he's looking at his wall of decks or something. That's what
Like,
I
this
thought it
angle
was.
is better for me too.
There is a blank wall in front of me. I stare at it after I come home from work.
But
Jesus, Celani, stare at the microphone instead. I mean, come on, you're using your imagination anyway.
Well, just to take it from the top, I only have like a mono red deck, right? It's my Ortheon or Thorion.
Ortheon.
Ornithop. I don't know. He's
Ortheon.
red.
I said it correctly for you. Don't worry about it. You got
Thanks, Mikey.
Osteoporosis. Anyway, I have my red deck. I used to have a mono white deck. It was SRAM, which at the time was the only mono white commander that was any good. Jury's still out on that. It still might be the only mono white commander that's any good.
Facts.
But
no,
that
it's
got
not.
that
No,
got
it's
absorbed
Who's a
into
good
Ardennes.
mono white commander?
Well, now
That's the question.
Elish Norn.
Okay, who's not Elish Norn?
Halia's
Don't make me
pretty
come
great.
up with a third one.
Halia, the new Halia is pretty great. Like Soul Sisters in the command zone. Jada, Font of Hope, is one of the most popular commanders on the site. I have to imagine. It's
Minwoo.
got like
Everyone loves Minwoo.
Minwoo
Y'all.
from the Final Fantasy set.
Yeah,
come on.
he gives you a canoe and then dies. That's what
I
he
don't
does
even
in the
know who
game.
that
He
is.
gives you a canoe and dies.
Minwoo was goated in the
You lost
Final
me.
Fantasy 2.
Yeah.
I thought Heliod Sun Crowned also had like CDH implications with the Walking Ballista combo, 2 pieces there. Delny was hot for a minute. I don't know if they still are.
Is Delny still stupid expensive?
No, I can't imagine it is. I think it's dropped down.
Let's go to the card
it is
sphere.
It is stupid expensive. It's above $40 still. Well, I will say I get a lot of articles. I get a lot of submissions for articles that mention people with Preston the Vanisher decks, and I think that Rabbit Magician is out there. So I will say there are plenty mono white commander decks out there running around doing their thing. So don't you sit there and tell me they're no good friggin' mono white decks. I'll fight you on it.
I stopped playing Magic the Gathering in 2020.
Oh, shush. No, you didn't.
I've just been making it up as I go along, you know?
Same.
And it's just been SRAM this whole time.
Man,
Delny,
I should
SRAM
kick
in
you
a
off
costume.
This call. I should kick you off this call.
All hits.
Elish Norn
Such a
SRAM in a
ding-dong.
costume.
All hits.
Actually, every commander is SRAM.
You're such a you are. I wanna punch you in the shoulder. You're such a ding dong. You press a bunch of buttons and it's very funny. I'm losing it. It's you stopped playing in 2020. I would have never met you. You know, I don't think we would have ever done this if it wasn't for 2021. You know what I mean?
Rest in peace.
Oh yeah, that was a year.
Yeah.
Don't be lying to our listenership.
I said it was a year. That's objectively a fact.
No, that's correct. That is correct. Actually,
I didn't say
yes,
it was
that
a
is-
good year.
Nobody's
I didn't even
saying
say
that.
it was a bad year.
It was a year.
No, there was no. Okay. All right, Ken, cut Celani off this entire episode.
But we're still talking to him. It's just not
Actually,
his
what
voice.
if I just screamed and you cut me off in the middle of the scream? That would be funny. and then the video ends. It's one of those
that's-
perfectly cut screams.
I love those.
Yeah.
I used to follow I think it was a Twitter page or an Instagram page that was like perfectly cut screams,
Yeah.
and it would only post videos where that happens, and I'd be like so stoked. It is, I don't know, it always hits it always hits the funny bone in the right
Yeah.
spot.
Especially when you can't, like, you don't know it's coming. It just happens, and you just knock me out, knocked out by it.
We're deep into off-topic territory, but one of my favorite Twitter and now Blue Sky accounts was Super Mario 64 Hidden Stars. And every post is just a level title from Super Mario 64 that you didn't know was in the game. You know, that when you select a star, it tells you what you have to do to get the star. And it'd be stuff like red coins behind the drywall, or check out my mixtape, or like Yoshi's yassification.
So you say off topic, but it won't be off topic for long once we finally get our Super Mario 64 secret layer, inevitably in the next couple weeks, probably before Spider-Man comes out. So let's...
You're not getting the star until you clean your damn room.
Yeah.
I will say it is the most unlikely that Nintendo is partnering up with Wizards. They are notorious for not doing anything. Like I don't know. I don't see it happening for us. If we do get a Super Mario set, that'd be ridiculous. Almost as ridiculous as having a literal Spider-Man set about to start previews. And honestly,
let's get it.
I'm not mad at it.
I'm not either. Is that weird?
The set looks sick.
Is that weird?
No.
Is it weird?
No,
I think it's weird.
No.
That
Why is it weird?
Not like it? Okay. Not a Spider-Man girl.
You want to try that again?
No.
Okay,
I'm not gonna. We can figure it out. If anybody listening to the Bolcast can figure out the voting system, they know exactly what I just meant then. But
context matters.
Exactly.
Out there.
But I'm looking at these cards. I'm looking at Anti-Venom. I'm looking at all the different Spider-Mans, Spider-Men, Spider-Mans, Spider-Men,
Spider-Man,
Spider-Rex,
eyebrows raised,
Doc Ock.
Spider-Doggy.
My God, like, is it a hit?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a hit, I think, guys.
I think it's interesting. Here's the thing. Okay. Ever since Kyle Keller made that article, he had a series called Forgotten Harvest on EDH Rec, and I think it was in 2017, and he made a deck tech for Dromar. I think Dromar is the Esper Invasion Dragon. Dromar the Banisher. So Dromar the Banisher is a flying 6/6 for 3 and an Esper. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 2 and a blue. If you do, choose a color, then return all creatures of that color to their owner's hands. But the thing is, Dromar is not like a great commander for this, because all he is a placeholder for an Esper self-bounce shell, and stuff like Azorius Aethermage, which is a card I've always really loved, which says it's 1 and 1 white blue for a 1/1 human wizard that says whenever a permanent is returned to your hand, you may pay 1 if you do draw a card. And then, of course, you've got like Niambi and Baron Talarian Archmage that care about self-bouncing. Then there's the gating mechanic from playing chess. For a long time, I'm just saying, for a long, long time, since 2017, since I've seen this article, way before I was ever even writing about Magic, I've been dreaming of this Esper self-bounce deck, and it never quite got there. It never quite hit. And I have a feeling, and I'm hoping that maybe, just maybe, we are going to get an Esper Spider-Man villain or something with web slinging, because web slinging is finally revealed. Web slinging is you may cast a spell for its web slinging cost if you also return a tapped creature you control to its owner's hand. And the self-bounce engine and all of it, there's a bunch of cards with web slinging in the right colors. Like, I am thinking about this as like let's see down the line. Like, I have my hopes are up, though they probably shouldn't be, but this is something that I really hope comes together, So I'm looking at Spider-Man like, please don't mess this up for me. One
thing that would be cool,
we get one.
Just talking about returning mechanics is and I think this goes along with like the Infinity Stone reveals, right? Is that like, if they are having multiple sets, like, bring back the mechanics, bring back some of the set specific mechanics.
Yes, thank you.
That's been a problem for so long, right? Once they started changing like how blocks worked and then how set releases worked, it was like, we get maybe sometimes like just crap mechanics. It's okay, I could stand to never see this again. But then some stuff that like maybe we see it once in like a new card in a pre-con or something, and then we just never see it again.
Exactly. Only in a pre-con you'll get something that says, connive. Yeah. You're like, from Streets of New Capenna.
A new thing.
And it's like years ago. But this, like, the Soul Stone specifically has Harness the Soul Stone. Harnessing is like the ability to turn on the infinity symbol of that card. But it just feels like, is this something that we're going to be seeing throughout multiple sets? Is this only going to be on the Soulstone? Is web slinging going to make a comeback on other cards? That one's a little bit more thematically linked, so I don't think it will. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough to say. It's just like, I don't know what to expect, but so far, some of these cards are pretty gas. Like, I don't know, Celani, you're the brew brain of the trio here. You're the one that I look to and think who's got to take.
You're putting me on the spot here.
Who's got context in this triad? And it's you.
How dare you? Who's caught your eye of the spoiled things? Everybody pick one. We're gonna just say it, and then we'll get into the story and discuss. So who's caught your eye?
I didn't do my homework. Let me quickly read every single legendary.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay, he's done.
Okay.
I've read every legendary.
Okay.
Perfect.
I thought you meant out loud, like for the listeners.
Oh no, he just needs a second.
No. They're just gonna sit there in agony while I just silently mouth to myself. You know how when someone like forgets their speech or forgets like the jokes they were gonna tell on stage? Has it ever happened to you or seen? Have you seen someone do that? Like, what do you do even?
Like forgetting bits? Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And I've seen
I mean,
that.
do people just freeze up? Because when I was in forensics in high school, you would just like sit there while this poor confused kid in front of you is just like, I can't remember my lines. I'm sorry. And you're just like, you don't have to apologize, you know?
Not particularly. No, some, in stand up, if you admit it, you get some goodwill from the audience, and like that helps you carry, or you just take a look at your notes if you have them. Otherwise, it is what it is, or it's a learning opportunity. But no, I don't think of I can't think of anything that's in a particular instance of this happening.
Okay, I have used the time that I spent from your long meandering rambling.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
to select a thing.
What'd you select?
I selected Dr. Octopus,
Yes,
Master
I
Planner.
knew it.
Same.
I knew it.
Literally
You knew
same.
Yeah, because that
Did
was
all
also
three
the
of you
one I
do
was
it?
looking at. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
but
three
tell
of us
me,
did it.
is he just not too expensive? Like, what's the dig here? Why are we not playing him? Like, he costs 7.
Nah, more.
That's
Okay.
fine. He makes your hand size. He draws you like a billion cards.
Big fan.
What was it? Damia? Damia did this?
Damia, Sage of Stone, was you skip your draw step for one.
Yeah.
And then at the end step, if you have less than 7 cards, you draw up to the difference. Which
so
is
you just play like 50 million ramp spells because there's no longer a downside to it, right? Like the downside of filling your deck with like 30 mana rocks is that they might get blown up to a farewell, which would really piss off Jason Alt. And second,
and me.
Yeah.
and second, like once you play the cards, you don't have anything to spend that mana on, right? It's like you have to have either some sort of activated ability in the command zone that's extremely expensive that's worth using it on, or you just draw a bunch somehow. And
I don't know. It's just cool looking, and then also like your hand is always gonna be stacked.
Yeah, Demir.
It's like Jin Gitaxias light. Yeah. You're in colors that allow you to do this, and if you have villains, like just as in like, oh sure, a villain try like
the bad guy buff.
You're not playing like villain typo. You're just getting +2/+2 for other villains get +2/+2. But the real juice is like you're gonna draw a ton of cards, even if you play a land and play Dr. Octopus, you're down from 7 to 6. At your end step, you draw 2 cards up to 8. Like that's just great. And that's assuming you're not playing Dr. Octopus from your hand, or you haven't spent like up like 3 cards. This card is gas. It's a mythic, which explains it. So I would say, I don't know. I don't know what to do with this one. I just think it's really cool. It's one that caught my attention as it was spoiled, and one that I've been thinking on. But I don't know if I would build it or if I'm just excited that this ability is refreshed, like because I've always really appreciated Damia but never wanted to build it.
And Damia's 3 colors, right? Like Doc Ock's only 2.
she's-
Color here.
she's
Yeah.
Sultai, the most interesting color combination in EDH.
Is that? Are you doing
We
sarcasm?
left some space for
No,
the
I think it's
applause
pretty-
track there for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ken
or I
added,
could just play it.
added
Hold on,
a
wait.
smattering of applause, but only like
Nice.
no, not that excited. I want like 2 or 3 guys doing slow claps and then No, not booze either. I want like 2 or 3 slow claps and then one lone woo at the end of it.
It's the best I can do.
You really need to get the Wheel of Fortune bankrupt sound in there.
Yeah, I think I gotta get that.
That's a
All
great
right.
sound.
All right, gang. I think it's time we get into this mailbag. How about that?
Let's get it, dude.
Let's get this bag.
Let's get this bag. Okay, I'm gonna read it. I will contextualize anything I feel like needs contextualizing, like if there's a card mentioned. But I'm gonna read it as is. This comes from. Okay, they've anonymized themselves, so we'll get to it at the end. Hi, Mike, longtime Commander player, new fan of your articles. I play with different pods, both in LGSs and with longtime friends. We mostly play brackets 2 and 3 and have a variety of decks for any occasion. Not to toot my own horn, but I do find that I get a good number of wins, and people have cited my deck building and gameplay as tight and fair. When I see newer players or lower powered decks, I try to match the vibe for a smoother game. So far, so good.
I too have been told that I am tight and fair.
Hell yeah. Okay, not touching that. Recently, I went on an annual trip with friends where we play Commander for days, which we all love. Oftentimes in this group, I end up the winner, and I've been known for making comebacks out of nowhere and playing all my outs. This year, I came with my decks still synergized, but a few at a lower power level than before. Without going into too much detail, in a variety of 4 and 5 player games with 6 players rotating in and out, I ended up winning 10 out of 30 games that I played. Sometimes I lucked into turn 1 soul rings that put me ahead, but mostly it was a closer game of attrition or combat. Nothing crazy, no combos, no tutors to my name. By the end of this trip, 2 of my friends got quite salty about my win rate and asked for me to change my decks to match their level. When I asked them what they thought I should do, they didn't have any specifics in mind. Aside from a handful of cards they cited, like a few extra turns cards or Reflector Mage cloned in my Satya deck, which are easy swaps, they admitted that my deck building was good and not even really pricey. They listed many of my decks they said were fine, but couldn't give specifics about what I should do otherwise, and said it was up to me. I compared my list to theirs and saw that they were using powerful cards and strategies that at the very least equaled my own. I did suggest before the trip even started that they should run more removal, since they kept dying to onboard threats with hands full of protection spells, but they didn't want to change what they're doing. When I asked my other friends about it later, they didn't think I was doing anything wrong. They thought my decks were all on the same level more or less as everybody else, but I played fairly with no cheese, and that oftentimes I outplayed these salty players, which is why I won. One of them suggested I sandbag more to allow the salties to win, but that seems like it would cheapen everyone's experience to me if I'm not playing authentically. I'm not sure how to power down when most players I know, including myself, see this primarily as a gameplay issue. How can I help my salty friends see what the other players see and get their game up? Or is that not a good approach either? Am I the bolus if I more or less stay the same instead of relenting to salt? Seems like a lot of text, so I should stop now. Thank you. Sincerely, Forever the Hegemon. So we're going to call this guy Hedge. Hedge also gave a follow-up, just a follow-up PS. Examples of my deck include a Stompy Yeva, so the one that gives green creatures flash. Queen Marchesa Aikido, which is, Queen Mardu Marchesa, I guess, with a lot of the redirect damage stuff. Cadena with ninjas, so the Morph Commander with ninjas. Satya, the energy Jeskai clone guy, and an infamous Feather deck. I'm taking extra turns out of my Vial Smasher Essior deck, so a Grixis, I guess, Scry. No, Grixis Vial Smasher deck. Scry is Elgeth, but this is Essior, so it's just protection for Vial Smasher. Okay, first impressions. I have a solution top of mind, ready to go, but I want to hear what you guys have to say. Who wants to go first, Morgan or Michael?
I would like to mention that, this sounds like Hedgie versus the Salties, and the Salties would be a great sports team for the whitest suburb I can think of. Let's just call it.
Salt Lake City. I think
no,
go to Salt Lake City.
No, Salt Lake City is a city. It's got to be like a really waspy. It's got to be like the Naperville Saltines. It's just got to be someplace that is a bougie ass suburb. It's like, oh, you could live here. You know, it's nice. You know, you could just walk around and there's like nothing to do because it's 59% strodes and 41% kids thinking they're badass because they smoke a bit of weed. You know, that sort of thing.
What are strodes?
Strodes? You don't know what a strode is?
No.
Oh, that's right. You're Canadian. It's like a cross between like a highway and like a street. Like it's an incredibly unwalkable sort of street.
These things really
like,
only exist in the Midwest too, by the way. I didn't know what they were until I moved here.
There's almost no places you can cross as a pedestrian. It's
no
like
sidewalk.
You can't walk across them.
Okay.
It's freaking bizarre.
I pulled it up online. I looked it up, and I will say I've never known the word for this, but I know what they are. And sorry, Ken, I fucking hate these.
No one likes strodes.
I mean, I guess some people must.
It's more like it's like how a bunch of perverse incentives got together, and it's just kind of like that's what everyone decided would happen, but no one really likes this. It's just an accident of nature that should really be put out of its misery, like the mosquito. It's just no one wants these.
Oh God.
What were we talking about? The Naperville Saltines?
Yeah.
No, we were talking about the submission to our mailbag. It's what I was hoping we'd talk about.
That's right. The guy needs to just buy a Precon and then whoop everybody with it.
So the Satya Precon,
so that's one of the
I will admit, is sorry, Ken, the Satya Precon is really good.
Satya Precon is pretty
right
nuts.
out the box.
Yeah.
I played all 4 of those Modern Horizons 18 Commander Master deck Precons, and the ones that
cost like $300,000.
Right. Well, they were like 200,000 when I got them, but the Satya one was consistently
Card Sphere.
Exactly. Was consistently the strongest. And I will admit, y'all, I'm an energy hater. I don't even know what is going on there. I didn't like it when
Really?
Stop. Just stop having me track.
I'm just
symbols.
surprised. I'm just surprised.
Why?
Okay. That's all I'm saying is I'm surprised. That's all.
I'm not a
Morgan,
symbol
I'm going to give you my
tracker.
commander deck that uses 57 different types of counters. I'm just going to gift that to you. It's just going to show up in your mailbox one day.
I know.
And dare.
It's going to show up in your mailbox one day
How many
in like a dirty, soiled like manila envelope. With
why
like
does it have to
instructions
be dirty?
inside.
Why can't I get a clean one? If you're
instructions
being
inside
abused?
and which of the LGS people you have to take down with this thing if you want to get into the brotherhood.
I'll admit, when I first looked at Satya, I was like, this guy ain't doing jack snap to this pod. And I mean, this thing like crushed Omo, it crushed the Eldrazi. I mean, we got smacked by this thing.
Satya is bananas.
Smacked. Literally smacked. I'm honestly surprised he's not rank higher especially for an Is It command, or I'm sorry. What is this? Jeskai. Okay, all of the good colors
let me read it for the
that
audience
muck
at this point.
Every spell that is good for this deck.
I'll say Satya Aetherflux Genius is a 1 in Jeskai 3/5 Menace Haste for a legendary human artificer. Whenever this attacks, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of up to one other target non-token creature you control. Doesn't have to be an artifact, by the way.
Yep.
You get 2 energy, and then at the beginning of your next end step, sacrifice that token unless you pay an amount of energy equal to its mana value. Satya is cracked. Is it a card that I have toyed with online? 100%. Have I looked at the build and gone, yo, maybe not? Yeah, totally.
I don't even have to like play this as energy. You could just be like, I'm just going to make a copy of everything of once a turn, and it's free.
It's great for me, an aristocrats guy who wants to sacrifice his stuff anyway. I don't even need to build it as Satya energy. It's just Satya being
doesn't even exile.
Well, see, that's maybe
it really
where
should exile.
This context for the saltiness comes from, though, right? Because and I'm picking on Satya because I've played against this deck. I own this deck. I've played it a couple times, and I've done both of those things. Because even with the precon out of the box, like you guys said, you can play it as a non-energy deck. If you don't want to just keep those tokens, you can just keep cranking stuff out, and like you're good to go. And this guy's got Menace and Haste, which is like one of those things that you just forget. Like it's questing beast. Like, oh, it says what? Like, oh, by the way, recasting this guy again, we're just ready to rock like immediately off the bat. So
it's nothing.
I get being salty with Commander like that.
Interesting too.
But
yeah,
and Queen Marchesa and like I'm can't think of the other
Sure.
commanders that you said that this guy was playing, but I know
But
I'd be salty about Satya, 100%.
I'll say this. Commanders aside, it sounds like the games just break this guy's way. Like Hedgie gets away with wins.
Yeah.
Right? And people are upset with how often that happens, which is the problem, right? So like to me,
They should play more games. Like eventually it's not going to go well for him, right?
Exactly. That's it. It's exactly it. You should play more games. 1, 2. So here's the thing. He played in 10. He won 10 of 30 games played. Okay, that's a great win rate. But also, it's on par with about what you'd expect the best player to win.
Yeah,
better than 25. You know,
right?
Yeah. So there's that. Now here's the other thing. I think that what you said, Celani, about getting a precon, great idea. But he wins, they blame the precon being cracked too, right? Doesn't matter. There's some precons out there that are just really solid, out of the box. And if you pick one of those, well, then you get that blame. You know what I say?
The Merfolk Explore deck can go die in a hole. But
yeah, that deck is crazy.
It is a harder sell, isn't it?
It's definitely a harder sell. But
let's assume you don't pick one of the ones that everyone knows is cracked, right? Let's say you pick what's
the Savine, the Chronoclasm one?
What's one that doesn't jump out? That one's banned. You can't play that.
Oh, that's right. Because the Dockside. Yeah.
What's one that jumps out of me is just kind of mid. The 2019 Rakdos deck. That one's not cracked. That one's pretty fair.
Anya Falconwrath one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't have any of the combo stuff in it. Yeah, totally. I feel like that's a fair choice. But I will say, even then, if you're playing a precon, they'll be like, you're playing a precon, but this is, they're designed to take a win here and there. You know what I suggest? Ask to borrow one of their decks. If they're gonna blame your deck building, if every time you play and you win, they blame your deck building, and you grab one of their decks and school them with it, buddy, they're going to have to find another song to sing because there's just no way. There's absolutely 0% chance over here. What do you think this is?
I like the idea that you're using that, these precons are designed to take a win every once in a while. That's not the explicit goal of every deck that anyone's ever built.
No, I agree.
No, my deck exists to just take a win every once in a while, but if I draw one with nothing or one with death, I've got to cast it and lose.
Is that from one of yours?
I actually ran into a guy that played that way. He's like, look, I've got one with death in this deck. If I draw it, I must cast it. I'm like,
honestly, that sounds like AD DeFazio. But okay, so point is, I think we've solved this one pretty well. In my opinion, I think just going ahead and saying, hey, borrow one of their decks and really just show them how, the thing is, if they lose, then they'll take that as confirmation bias and be like, you see, you lost because you played a fair deck. And to me, I don't know. Part of me thinks that I know. Trust me, I know. I'm with you. Who gives a fucking shit? Sorry, Ken. I just think that, okay, the Hedgie brings up two people that are salty in the pod, and to throw the game and to sandbag some stuff. I'm fine with banging stuff if someone's being taught how to play the game and they've gone too many times without a win, and it just, you see it crush their soul. That sucks. You want them to stay invested. You want them to see what they can do. Sure, sandbag a game or two, but don't do it obviously, and don't really go out of your way to do it. But it's fair if you're trying to get somebody to stick around and enjoy the game. I'm not against it. I'm also not against sandbagging something so that a game can end if it's gone on too long, or sandbagging a play because you want to see something else go off.
Yep.
These are the reasons I'm cool with any of this. However, this case is not it for me. These guys play together for a long time. They've played for a while. They'd go on this annual trip. They
Which
know
is
that this
baller, by the way.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. Sorry, Ken. I love that so much. I'm a big fan of what y'all are doing. Keep that up. But I will say, if we're looking at this as a hey, your pals get together and all that stuff, and you're just gonna play Magic all the time, you gotta know the dynamics of the group. If I talk about my own play group, okay, if I talk about my own playgroup, I know that my buddy Eric is the sharpest deck builder in the group and the guy that plays best in the moment. He's always doing something creative, but also is the spikiest in terms of gameplay. We know that if we see him doing a little too much, we go for him, or it's kind of cool and we want to, keep an eye and see what's about to happen. The point is, you get to know these people, you find these dynamics, you learn what's coming, and you get to be like, okay, what to expect is like, Hedgie's going to show up, Hedgie's going to have his decks, Hedgie's going to be able to play these decks, and then that's it. He's going to win a couple times. Big whoop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just feels wrong to me for somebody to be like, hey, can you play a little worse? I want to win sometimes. And it's like, yeah, I don't know if worse is the way that I'd want to put it. Like, you're asking me to sandbag, play worse decks. Like, I don't know if I have that. You know what I mean?
I would hope.
Like, it's not what I'm going to enjoy.
I would hope that within 30 games, this guy went in 10 times. I honestly would forget, especially if this wasn't like 10 times in a row.
Yeah,
maybe you remember if I guarantee you this person did not win 10 times in a row.
Isn't.
Guaranteed.
No.
Okay, so it's like it just happens. Like I'm gonna take out one of my like garbage precons and whoop the both of you in at least 2 of these matches, just out of sheer luck. I don't consider myself a good Magic player by any means, but one of my handicaps that I put myself like, okay, maybe I'm gonna play a high power deck, but I also
you shouldn't.
What?
You shouldn't sell yourself short.
I'm selling myself long by saying not very good, but if that's another way to say that. But like, I do like and consider often the idea of maybe if there's somebody who beat this person and they play the deck and see if they win or lose, or see how they play it and kind of see where the power level is at. One thing that I love doing, my partner Dakota is a very good, very spiky kind of Magic player, like very antithetical to how I am. So if I'm playing a deck where I'm like, oh, I think this deck sucks, or I don't particularly like it, I'm not really sure how it works, I give it to him and then we play again and he'll just figure it out, right? Like he has enough of that experience and like, oh, this is how this works. And this is kind of the thought process of like going through the deck of like, is it good or bad, quote unquote, right? Like, is it the precon? Is it a deck we built? That kind of thing. So that's something, if your salty friends are thinking in a group like this that this is happening often, like switch decks, play another deck. I guarantee you that all of these folks, you're saying this guy brought like 5 decks or so, there's probably a deck somebody in there wants to play just to see like, hey, can I be as cracked with this as you, or are you just a good player? Is this a good deck? Like all of those things come into play when we're talking about this stuff. If you were saying like they're salty because I won 29 out of these 30 games, then maybe we'd have something to talk about. But I don't think we have much to talk about, y'all. I think we're good on this.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that is such a small delta between the expected win rate of, 25%?
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe it's just, like, you've only played 30 games and the law of large numbers hasn't gotten there yet. Yeah. Maybe Hedgie isn't that good. Maybe he is going to get beat by the...
Totally.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't a Harlem Globetrotters versus the Washington Generals situation. This is a Hedgie versus the Naperville Saltines situation, And those teams are much more evenly matched.
Right. Exactly.
I will say this one's a harder one for me to like want to... I want to be kind to the salty players.
Then vote Bolus. Sandbag.
Huh? What's that?
Then vote Bolus and Sandbag.
Yeah.
No. I'm not gonna. Here's the thing. I want to be nice. I just don't think I have to be, because
Cox shotgun.
Yeah, I mean, look, if
that's not very Canadian of you, Mikey.
I'm just saying, if you play Magic, you're losing. You're losing
guns?
most of the time. That's the part of playing Commander. You play Commander, you're losing most of the time. Let's be absolutely real with each other here. If this is the format of choice for you, buddy, let me just tell you right out the gate, you love losing.
Embrace the
it's
suck.
Fine.
I saw you doing that, and I'm like, this is Woody yelling at Buzz right now. It's just like, you love losing.
Yeah. Fall with style. All right. lose, but do something cool on the way out. Find different ways to win. It's the most important thing that I can tell anyone who's getting into Commander and wants to like be really good is to let them know, buddy, it's not happening right away, but you find your wins when you can. You don't need to win all the time. Your wins are going to happen naturally, but your other wins of you determining like, hey, maybe I can count this as a personal victory. That's where you find like your appreciation for the game in a bigger way. It is frustrating to me that the suggestion has made it to you that you should sandbag. I'm not a fan of that so much.
I agree. Let's play another game.
I don't know. Yeah. Like end the game and play another. And like if you have a problem with somebody winning, have a conversation with them and like they did. But the thing is, if you don't have anything to say in that conversation that's going to move the needle, what do you want me to do? Like if somebody comes to me and goes, your decks are too good, and then I'm like, okay, what would make them more your speed? And they can't point to anything except for in one deck, take out extra turn spells, which again should not be in a bracket. 2 allows some extra turn text, just not spells, not chaining them. But again, I feel like that should be bracket 3 anyway, personally. So like that's all I'll say, I guess, is like I think that the only thing that they really had to approach you on was the extra turn spells. But otherwise, I'm just kind of like, yeah, dude, they didn't come up with anything. They came up with Reflector Mage and the extra turn spells, and Reflector Mage can be oppressive 100%. It's kind of all it's there for. And Hedgie's already agreed to take these 2 cards out. So like, what do you want more here? What can you get here that you haven't gotten already? Because I'm not seeing it personally. I don't understand what this group will want from their friend at this point, because frankly, going beyond this feels like it'd be insulting. You know what I mean?
It's too targeted.
Like,
it's too individualistic versus like, let's just play another game. Let's play another deck. Let's swap deck. Like all the other options you have in a group like this. Yeah. Like 4 to 5 person pods. Like,
well, that's the other thing is like, if you break this down to 4-player pods only, I guarantee that you're probably not losing as much as you are against 5 players. Mm-hmm. Like that to me is also crazy. Is like, you're doing 5-player matches regularly and swapping out one person at a time, or like, that's how I understood. Maybe I read it wrong, where it's like, they're 11 guys and they only do 1 pod of 5 at a time and they swap out. But I don't think that's how it is. I think it's
in a variety of 4 and 5-player games, 6 players rotating in and out.
Okay, so they do 4 and 5. Okay, never mind then, I guess. But I just yeah, I don't know. This one is like, it's rubbing me the wrong way that this is what's being asked of you. I don't quite like that for you, Hedgie. Yep. I think that's not great, especially if when you are bending, like you're bending to what they're asking of you, and you are providing a solution, and you've already agreed to it, and hopefully it panned out fine the next time. I just think that it's just so interesting to me. It's just so interesting to me that this is what's being asked of you. I think it's like, what? Oh, man.
Yeah. I think we're all on the same page with this.
I can see you seething about this.
Yeah, I would too. It feels a little too personal with this many people and this many games. Like with the added context, I'm feeling salty for you.
Context is important.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll say this. I'll say it again. I feel like this would ruin my night. I'll say,
oh yeah.
I think that if I were playing with friends and they, all of a sudden they were like, yeah, okay, well, your decks are too strong. Can you do this? And you find out that they have nothing else to say, but like one deck can remove these 2 things.
Maybe that's them trying to be polite though. Because it's not like, oh no, you're too good at the game, you can't play with us. It's more of like, well, your decks are too strong, but that's a lie. So they're using that to try and be like, hey, maybe don't kick our ass so much, And it doesn't, like, the end result is like, maybe they're just not having fun because there's a skill differential between the two of them, like the members of the group, and it's just like, what do you blame if you can't blame the player? You blame the deck. You blame the luck of the draw. You blame something other than the person, or you blame someone other than yourself not being good. Like, like
I think that's where I'm at.
They could get good, you know, as much of as a meme to
Yes,
as it is a meme to say that, you know.
Yeah, I agree. It is very much a meme to say, like, the response would be get good, but also at the same time, I wouldn't want to be that person. I will say that, like, it's happened to me where I've been playing Magic for a long time, but when I started, I got my ass handed to me many times, but I still enjoyed playing the games. I think that's an important part of it, is this hindering your ability to enjoy the game? And if it is, I think that there should be some self-examination here, because if you're only getting something out of the game by winning, then that's like something that I would advise against, frankly.
But it's only 10 out of 30. Like, it's not like, I'm sorry. I'm just, every aspect of this story just kind of chains together into another part that just gets me like more like, come on, dude, really? You know, it's like I feel like I have a cork board with like lines going between each individual section of this thing. And it's like, well, what about this? No, that's countered by that. What about that? No, it's this. You know, it's just like,
yeah, same, totally same.
Yeah, I get it. I don't know. It just feels dumb. It feels dumb to be asked to like stop being so good at Magic and to like let them win. Like, your friends agree with you that like there's one part of the friend group that agrees with you that says like, yeah, you're not a problem. You know what I mean? Like, if most people, like, because this is a group of 6 people, let's say, if the other friends besides the 2 and then you have yourself, that means that 3 other friends were consulted and said, hey, yeah, no, it's not your decks. It's just that maybe you're too good and maybe you sandbag. And that's kind of like, sure, I guess so.
yeah.
You know, I don't feel good about it. I don't want to.
That's kind of my feeling with this whole thing is like, that sound, you know?
Yep.
Okay, so to me, if I was bad at the game, and I was and have been, right? If
Jeez.
Definitely have been, you know. No, it's true. I mean, I still mess up a bunch, and like it's normal. Like, having a podcast about Magic doesn't make you automatically good about it, you know. So
don't say that out loud. So. Don't say that out loud.
Ah, too bad.
That's why I was confused. I was like, how could Morgan suck if she's got a podcast about Magic? But if you're saying that,
well,
then
not to mention
I
the
can just
only
wholeheartedly
one.
say that you suck at Magic, Morgan.
The only podcast about Magic.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
I will say, like, you know, if I was getting my ass handed to me every week by the same player and it's just not working out in the game. Yes, in the game, Michael.
Takes a bat.
Anyway, if I wasn't doing so hot at Magic and I was not having fun and I was losing continually, I would have to like see if there's a way to get better. And if it comes to it, asking your friend, hey, why is it that whenever we play games, you see this and you're good at it this way? What is it about you and your decks that allow you to win as much as you do? And how do I maybe get there as a player? You know, I think it's fair. Like, why be shy about this kind of question? It's self-improvement and a compliment. Come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels wrong to me to be like why would you not want to ask somebody this? You know, you're telling them, hey, you're winning too much, but that's not a problem. I want to be as good as you are because clearly you're sweeping the floor with us. I don't want to ask you to get worse or like to sandbag it because that would cheapen things. But I want to ask you to please help me see what you see. Maybe next time we play, we can earmark a couple plays and then I can ask you what your thought was in that thought process was in those moments. You know what I mean? Like, I was playing with my buddy. My buddy Ashley is new to Commander. She's new to and Magic in general. She's a really good friend of mine. We play together all the time. And she got really, really into it thanks to Final Fantasy. So I'm forever grateful for Universes Beyond for this reason, because she said, no, I'm never going to learn magic. And here we are, learn magic thanks to Final Fantasy, way into Edge of Eternity, super stoked about Spider-Man. I have a pal that I get to play with, play magic with a bunch. Last weekend, we got into it. We played magic, and she said something similar to me. She said, you always find a way to like get in or out of something, and I always feel like it's the end of the game for me, but you see things. And so to me, I just said, do you want me to kind of like narrate what I'm thinking? Do you want to play a couple games where we have our hands open? Do you want to go over how the game is played? I'm pretty sure like our opponents who are longtime pals of mine wouldn't mind doing something similar, and we did. It was awesome. We went through all the things that I saw, and I said, this, and that. And then it got to a point where she's pointing stuff out that I, didn't see because, she's got her cards in front of her. I've got mine and whatever. But the point is, like, she's looking for a way to get better at the game through actually learning about the game, being better at the game, doing her best at the game. You know what I mean? And this guy is just like being asked by his friends, like, hey, do you mind playing worse for me? I would really appreciate it if you played worse for me. That would be sick, honestly. Please play worse for me.
Whatever you say, boss.
Yep.
What? Anyway, I think that you have two solutions here. I will say no boluses. Like I don't like your friends for asking you this, but they're not on trial here. They're not the verdict seekers, right? So I am not going to give them a bolus verdict or a non-bolus verdict. That's just not what's happening.
Double Jeopardy.
Double Jeopardy. I think that's how that works.
Yeah.
Is it?
No, not
okay.
Remotely.
Look, I don't know things. Sometimes you say stuff and I trust you on it. You take advantage of that.
Well, that's your first mistake, Mike.
All right. I see you. I hear you. I believe it. But my point is, you have two solutions. Precon or borrow one of their decks. Show them that it's not a fluke. You know what I mean? Like go in one night where the idea is you're exclusively playing their decks, or you're exclusively playing a precon off the shelf. You know what I mean? There are some LGSs that allow you to borrow a precon. You know what I mean? Like, use these two to kind of just be like, yeah, I'm gonna, and play to your outs completely in these situations. Really show them, like, hey, I'm going to show you that with your deck, I can still do this, and I need you to know it's not my deck construction. If this is really what you want to be doing and you want to like show them up or something. However, there are nice ways to do this, and I hope you go about it the nice way.
Always.
Yes, do not bring your claymore to this conversation.
All that to say, not the bolus for me. Michael, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking bolus.
Uh-oh.
Really?
Uh-oh.
No, I'm just screwing with you.
You son of a...
No
right.
bolus.
Yeah.
Morgan.
Yeah. Same. No
What about
bolus. I will not
No
screw with
bolus.
you. There will be no bolus today. True
No
Eugene.
bolus today. True Eugene, baby. And that's an easy peasy for us, I think. So shout out to Forever the Hegemon for writing in. Thank you, Hedgie, for writing in. I'll be covering this on the article series in coming weeks. Honestly, if at all. Because this was really good. This episode covered everything, but maybe I'll distill it and make it an article. We'll see. That said, congrats on your wonderful verdict of being a good person. And thank you so much for writing in. Before we go, I will say, if you're listening this deep in and you have been listening for a while, you're new to the show, whatever, I just want to say thank you for listening. I have been trying not to be numbers obsessed with the podcast, so I have not been looking at things for a little while, and recently have been recently just checked, and we're doing okay. We're holding steady with our listenership, and that's because you guys are listening, and that means a lot to us. So keep listening, keep commenting on the YouTube video, keep sending us submissions at amithebolas@gmail.com. You can send us feedback there as well. And I really appreciate you for being with us, rocking with us, and all that. And I will say that I have once again forgotten to do one of the feedback things, which is a segment of show and tell, where we talk about a card we like a lot. And I can't think of a reason not to do it unless you guys don't want to just throw one down. But I think I can just pick my favorite card and discuss why, even though I've discussed it on the podcast before.
Hold on, I have here my manifesto.
Yeah, you've got a
My manifesto.
He was waiting for
looks
this
like a
moment.
party ticket.
About tempting licid.
Oh God!
You
All right,
love
Ken,
that
cut
card.
it.
Okay.
Cut it. We're done.
Throw in like the SpongeBob 40 minutes later, like
Yeah.
30 years later.
So much later, the old narrator got tired of waiting, and they had to hire a new one.
Uh-huh.
Listen, if we're talking about show
yeah.
and tell, I've got my Urza deck here, and I've got a card that I really love for multiple reasons. One of which is the art, and it is censored because it's not safe for work. But this is a retro border Sphinx's Revelation, believe it or not.
Yes.
So
I'm concerned that Sphinx's Revelation is censored.
yeah,
well, it's just because Zoom is doing the background thing.
it's probably a real thing. So I played this card in Standard when it first came out in Return to Ravnica, a set which I spent way too many dollars that I did not have at the time on. I probably bought about, I don't even know, 4 cases worth of booster boxes for that set. And if you know how many booster boxes were in a case during that time, you know exactly how much money that was. And adjusted for inflation,
money, honey.
that's probably a house down payment, but that's okay because Magic is way better. So Sphinx's Revelation, one of my favorite cards, the John DiGiovanni art, especially for the Urza deck, the Brothers War Precon, is incredible. And if I can ever get this card in foil,
Yes.
Lord have mercy. My wallet, my kidneys, my liver, my organs are all for sale to purchase it. And it's just a good card. It's a great card. I think if you need to play it early, it's a great card if you need to play it late. Unfortunately, I also played this card in Standard when Azorius Control was really popular, and it was the only thing that anybody else at F&M was playing. So it was just a bunch of Azorius Control mirror matches with 1,000-year Elixir, and it was not fun, but I wanted to get the promos at the time. So all that being said, Sphinx's Revelation, you're a real one, especially the John DiGiovanni art from the Brothers War Urza Precon. That's my show and tell.
If you know anybody who knows John DiGiovanni and that art is up for sale or auction or something,
Are you kidding me?
let us know. Let us know. Here's the thing. I don't know how much it could possibly go for. It's probably going to be hella expensive, but it does feel like Morgan's worth it. So let's see what we can do. You know what I mean? Let's see what it's selling for, if it's selling at all. And, I don't know. So I'm going to look into this. If anybody has any lines on that, give us a shout. Send it over to amithebolas@gmail.com. Love that for Morgan. And I'm pretty sure she'd love it on the wall too.
It's beautiful.
Mikey Celani, buddy, what are you thinking? What do you got?
Oh, for my card? I was serious when I was talking about tempting licid.
I know you were serious. You could go ahead and talk about it.
I can?
Okay, you can, but
You have a time limit.
you
have a
got
time
a little
limit?
bit of a time limit.
It's good.
And we're wrapped. That's, wow, right on time, Celani. Dang, it's like he knew.
Yeah, that's good.
That sounds like a day's
Tempting Listen is a
scooted,
crazy card.
if I ever heard one.
I didn't get to go yet.
I've ruined people's combats with tempting licid.
Tempting Listen is a crazy card. It's, you know what? I'm going to buy a copy now. I'm going to head over to Card Sphere right now and buy a copy.
Do it.
I'm doing it.
It's a good card.
I'm doing it.
It ruins so much stuff.
And you know what?
Like,
I want to
hey,
give Licid the benefit of the doubt for being an underrated and underserved creature type. Just like cephalids. God knows that they're going to errata these to, I don't even know, weird little bug guys.
Squids.
Mind squids?
Something.
Yeah.
It'll be something sad and
I
make us
have to
yearn
tell
for
you,
the
I do
past.
mind squids.
Yeah.
Hell, Michael, how dare you?
Do you not listen? I have so many goddamn friends that are like some verb that ends in er. It's like tell her I hardly know her, and I just want to just like slowly raise a knife and just be like,
yeah,
you gotta stop with the I hardly know her jokes.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta stop.
That's not you making the joke?
No,
That's
it's
others.
other people. It's just
no,
endless.
savage.
It's like hardly know her. I'm like, like
they love
frustrated
that
Miss
joke on
Piggy
Drag
noise.
Race. They love it on Drag Race so much, and it pisses me off
It's
every
gotta stay
goddamn
there.
time. It needs to
Probably where
stop.
they got it from, to be honest. It's just like
Yeah.
hardly know. I'm like,
Ugh, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It's overdone, and it's like it's the "that's what she said" kind of deal.
Yep.
Frankly,
Anyway.
I would take that's what she said at this point.
Oh, I agree. I would prefer it, but I also
We still doing
don't like it.
phrasing?
Phrasing, no. Phrasing never really caught on for me over here. But I will shout out my card, Show and Tell. Again, thanks to Screddy. Screddy, thanks for the suggestion. I like it a lot. So we're going to do this, and then we're going to do plugs and get out of here. One of my recent favorites that I find myself including in more and more decks is Monument to Endurance from Aetherdrift. Aetherdrift, which you might know as a set that came out in the old year 2025, which oddly enough was still somehow 4 sets ago. Is that
I was
correct?
really hoping you would just be like, you might remember it as a set that came out.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
end there.
Literally beginning of this year, and yet we've had 4 sets, and we're getting another 2. Either way, Monument to Endurance is a 3-mana artifact that says whenever you discard a card, choose one that has been chosen the turn, and that's either draw a card, create a treasure token, or each opponent loses 3 life. And no matter what, like, I've put this in my discard deck. It does a lot there. I've done it in a bunch of Reanimator decks where I've got Looters, I've got it in Lazav, I've got it in Golbez. And frankly, the card does so much work, especially in Golbez. The card is a beast in that deck. But I really have found that this little guy that just hangs out has been so useful. There's a lot more discarding that happens than you think there is, and ultimately just being able to replace the card is great, but being able to turn that into a treasure is awesome too. And in the late game, like if you just every turn cycle hit every opponent for 3, I mean you're turning things down. You know what I mean? It's gonna put the squeeze on everybody. I really like this card, and I've been seeing it. I've been seeing where it applies more and more. You know, Baitor, Ancestor's Voice, got one in there. You know what I mean? Like, there's a ton of decks that this belongs in. And I will say that with Mayhem being a mechanic in the Spider-Man set, which is basically like bad madness, which people are calling badness, and I think that's cute, but also, but Carnage Crimson Chaos is a card with Mayhem, and Mayhem is, you discard a card, you may cast it or play it this turn, and the timing rules apply. But many cards in the set have Mayhem, and with that in mind, Monument to Endurance will let you replace the card that you just discarded. It'll let you ramp into it so you can actually play it or pay for the Mayhem cost, or it'll just throw on some damage for the table. I really like Monument to Endurance, and I shout out everybody out there who's seen the potential in it, because, buddy, it rips. I think that does it for us today. Morgan, where can people find you? Where would you like them to check you out?
I'm on Blue Sky at Indigo Gentleman, and be sure to check out EDHREC articles every day at edhrec.com.
Hell yeah. Michael Celani, what about you?
You can find all my stuff at Gamesfreaksa. Those are the letters SA. Gamesfreaksa.info.
Perfect. I'm Mike Carrozza, MikeCarrozza. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, you name it, everywhere on those at that handle. At Am I The Bolcast on Blue Sky. And please check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube feed. That's where we get people commenting, so it's the most direct way to do feedback. You can email us at amithebolas@gmail.com for a story submission for the mailbag or the article series, or for some feedback. And that is it. So with that said, it's time to scoot the day. And again, thanks so much for listening. You rule. This makes it all worth it. Bye, everybody.